Greetings, everybody. My name is Murph. Welcome here to Prog Monster. This is a channel that's dedicated to progressive rock, hard rock, heavy metal, and other forms of rock music. So I do apologize. This is my 12th take of this because I keep forgetting things. So we are doing an episode of ranking the albums. This is episode number 8. And going forward, we will be doing the semifinals next week and the week after, and then the finals. So for those of you who follow this, you know what's going to happen. For those of you who are new, basically I take 4 albums that Ben has given me, and I listen to them, and then I rank them according to how I like them. I do apologize in advance. I'm very sick and my head is puffed up, so I may make mistakes. I'm not going to try to, but that's sometimes the way it is. So the 4 albums that Ben has given me are Golden Earrings, self-titled album, or Dolls on the Wall, I believe it's called. Pulsar, Strands of the Future, Dennis Deyoung's 26th East Street, volume number 2, and King Crimson's Lizards. I actually do have one of the albums. I own it, and that's the Lizards one. It was in my playlist for a while, but I never really kind of warmed up to it. It's the only King Crimson album at this point in time that I haven't. Lark's Tongues and Aspic is currently on my playlist, so I'm listening to that, but I never really kind of warmed up to this. I think maybe it would require quite a bit more listening before I kind of it's very different than the other albums, I find, anyways. And despite the obvious good color, almost psychedelic coloring and intricate artwork, for me it just doesn't really measure up to the other albums. And in this with the other 3 albums, I think they're a little bit notch above it. So the number 3 album, coming in at number 3 here, is Pulsar's Strands of the Future. A good album, very symphonic, definitely if it's a symphonic rock band. I think they're French, if I'm not mistaken. There's a lot of instrumentation on here. It's all pretty good stuff. Lots of symphonic, lots of keyboards. There are some vocals, but I would call the vocals on here almost indiscriminate or not really that memorable. But overall, it's a good sounding album. It's an album I'm almost 100% sure would grow on me given more time. And so, if I see it around, I may get it. The number 2 album, this album actually didn't do initially very well. I was listening to it while I was doing my baseball. I got about 4 or 5 songs into it, and I wrote down what I think it was worth. And I didn't expect it to get any better, and it would have ended up being last, but it kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So first of all, it's Dennis Deyoung's 26th East Street, Volume 2. I found it a little bit poppy at the beginning. The lyrics are great, though. All the lyrics on most of the song, very memorable. They kind of touch you. You hear them and they resonate with you. His voice, of course, is fantastic. Don't think he's lost much vocally. Very, very strong vocally. But as the album went along, it got stronger. Like the songs became more and more interesting. The last 2 or 3 really strong. One particular song, which I didn't write down, very prog, very heavy. Guitar was fantastic. This is one of the best songs I've heard from Styx, or a member of Styx, in a long time. Really strong, really brought the whole album up to this point where I had to put it at number 2. It probably could have finished number 1 if not for some of the more poppy and ballad-like stuff that was going on early on in the album. That kind of brought it down a bit. I do like the ending with the Grand the Grand Illusion. Is it the Grand Illusion or the Grand Finale? Sorry, the Grand Illusion is the opening track on the album, on Styx's Grand Illusion album. But the Grand Finale is the last track on that album, and he actually plays it on this album. Really surprised me. It was really good. Thought the nice ending to the album, really strong. This is an album that, now that I've gone through it all, I could see myself getting it. It's at least as good or maybe better than Cornerstone, I think. So deserves to be in my collection, and I think I will get it. So it's number 2. Number 1 was the Golden Earring self-titled album. I do like Golden Earring. I have yet to buy any of their stuff. I'm not really sure what that's about. I just think that I haven't seen anything. That's probably more likely. And when I'm out there looking, I'm looking at a lot of different stuff. So unless I got it right in front of me, look for this. I don't always do that. So, but this was very strong. It's kind of got its heavier aspect. Um, I did hear a little bit of an Atomic Rooster sound, at least in the vocalist. He's very similar to the guy, the guy who sings in Atomic Rooster. There's a very similarity between their voice, raspy, and the album has a little bit of a psychedelic edge to it too. I really quite like this album, as I have with almost all the Golden Earring stuff that I've been given over the last few years. I may have actually listened to this album before, but I can't remember. And today I can't remember nothing. But anyways, that's going to be the winner. So Golden Earring's self-titled album will become #1 for this tournament. The other 3 albums, Dennis DeYoung's #2, 26 East Street Volume 2, Pulsar #3, Strands of the Future, and King Crimson's Lizards #4. You know, it's tough when a King Crimson album finishes 4th. But it was very strong. The other 3 albums were stronger than it, I think. So anyway, so that's it for ranking the albums, episode number 8. Ben will put together the 2 semifinals. He'll put the albums that won their individual ranking the albums episodes, and he will put them in 2 different semifinals, and then I will have to decide. There are a couple of excellently strong albums in the entire ranking the albums that I thought were really good. There's some that, maybe won because they were in a weaker category, but, once you get to the second round and I listen to you for the second time, then it starts becoming different. Because I'm one of these people who doesn't usually take to an album initially. Sometimes it takes 3 or 4 listens before I really get into it. And in the case of some albums, it's taken literally years. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of ranking the albums. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave your comments. You can rank these albums according to how you want to, and I will look at that as well. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. So the first episode next Friday will be the semifinal episode, and I believe that Ben will be putting that together for me. And then on Sunday, when we do this week, where we talk about what we're doing for this week, I will kind of go down on what we're going to do with the new series that's going to take over from Ben's album challenge. It's not actually going to take place this week because we have the mini series for my drummers, my favorite drummers, the episode number 4, my second favorite drummer, which I'm really looking forward to. I really like this guy a lot. So we will be doing that next week. But for ranking the albums, it'll be the semis next week. I hope to see you then. Take care and have yourself a good day. Take care.